We're going to discuss the concept of writing scripts for RightTool to automate certain processes in QuickBooks Online. Now, scripts is an option inside Accountant Pro, and you would turn on scripts. And then once you turn scripts on, anytime you're in QuickBooks and you have RightTool open, you're now going to see scripts as one of the options. You may have a couple of scripts in there, or it could be blank. To add a script, we're going to click on Add Script. Then we're going to paste our script in here and give our script a name. Now, if you don't know how to program, like I don't know how to program, for example, you would use something like ChatGPT to help you write a script. So we're going to use ChatGPT to help us write the script that we're going to be working on for today's tutorial. So let's say I'm looking at the chart of accounts and I want to show all the accounts, including the inactive ones. And then maybe I'm just going to filter the inactive ones, and I want to activate all these accounts. Now, to activate them, I literally have to press on each of these buttons one at a time to make all these accounts active. So you can use a script, for example, to automate that button pressing, that robotic process automation, so you can do it all in one shot. So we're going to start by opening ChatGPT, and we're going to tell ChatGPT what we're going to do. So we're going to say, I need your help creating a script that I will run inside Google Chrome console. That's an important concept. Console is how you load scripts into a website and the website does things. I am going to send you some HTML so you know what to interact with, or something like that. So we start with a prompt like that, so it actually knows exactly what you're going to start to be doing here in ChatGPT in terms of writing the script. So I'm going to go back into QuickBooks and I'm going to give it two pieces of information. One is I'm going to give it the information about the entire table that we're going to be manipulating. So this is everything from the very first account all the way to the very last active button. So any information that I give it around that, which is basically copy and pasting the HTML for this table, should be enough. So the way we do that is we're going to right click anywhere on the screen, click where it says inspect. Okay, that's going to be a basic function inside Google Chrome. This inspect window pops up and you're going to go here where it says elements, and then we're going to find the elements for this table. So what we do is we're going to click on this little button here that says select an element, and then once that's highlighted, we're going to highlight the element that we want. So generally what I do is I'll click on one of the elements that I care about, let's say this one, and then here the HTML, I search until it selects the entire table. So this one will be good here because it looks like it selected the entire table of contents. That blue shaded part is what we want. So I right click on that section of the HTML, click on copy element. Okay, so we're going to copy that from the element section. We're going to go to ChatGPT and put, this is a table full of accounts in QuickBooks Online. Ultimately, I am going to ask you to push buttons on my behalf with the script, something like that. Okay, so just we start feeding ChatGPT information related to what we're going to do. So I'm going to paste that, and keep in mind sometimes the text is too long and ChatGPT could give you an error. In this case, it didn't, so I try to keep the amount that I'm texting short generally. So this thing starts doing things like for example, it just guessed that what you probably want is to click on the make active button. So this specific script will just make everything active. So I probably want to do one more thing, which is I want to say only the ones that have the checkboxes. So I'm going to go one step further and I'm going to inspect again. I'm going to click on this little inspect element button. I'm going to click on this little checkbox and I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to explain to it what is a checkbox and what is an unchecked box. We're going to say I only want this action in the accounts I have selected. For example, this is a checkbox without selection. And then I'll paste that in there. And then I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to check one, inspect the element, grab this information here. I'm going to click on copy and then go back to ChatGPT and say, and this one does contain the selection. At the end, I'm going to ask, do you clearly see that? Okay. So we give it basically both pieces of information. Now he knows what's the property that makes a checkbox checked and the property that makes a checkbox not checked. Okay. So now it's rewriting the code. I don't know a lot of code, but I can start kind of seeing what it does. So in this case, this is like sort of what recognizes as a row. And here is what recognizes as a checkbox. And then it says here, if it's checked, go ahead and click on make active. And basically that's all it does. So once you have sort of a first run of the script and you think this is ready, we're going to copy the script. We're going to go back into our QuickBooks page. Now we're going to go from elements. We're going to click on console. Okay. And then in console, somewhere, I'm going to X out of that. Somewhere in the bottom of console, there's a place where you can just paste information. We're going to paste the code in there and then see what happens. So let me select a couple of these. So I selected these three that you see there. So I'm hoping that this script works and it clicks on the make active button for all three. Let's see. So I'm going to paste the code in here and then press enter. And it seems like it did it. Try one more time. I'm going to select all of them here. I'll paste the code. Press enter. And it seems to do that. It didn't do it for these two for some reason. Let's try this again. Let's select these two. Press paste. Okay, so that worked. So there might have been an issue with delays. This happens sometimes where it tries to go faster than what QuickBooks possibly can. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go back, delete a couple of more accounts here. Let's select a couple of accounts here. I'll just select a whole bunch. I'm gonna delete them again or make them inactive just so we can go back into this process. Make inactive. Okay, let's show the inactive ones. Let's hit delete it. Okay, there they are again. Let me select them all. Try the script one more time. See if the last time there was a press enter. Okay, so some are left out. So we're gonna go back and tell ChatGPT that sometimes let's do sometimes some get skipped. Can we add a short delay between them? Okay, so I'm just saying sometimes this happens. Let's add a short delay. This is going to rewrite the code. We're going to go back into QuickBooks here. I'm going to grab some other accounts to inactivate. And the reason for that is because I want to have quite a bit of them so we can test all sorts of different ways this could work. So let's see. I think I selected one that was deleted. So it's probably not going to work. Okay, let's try that. Make inactive. Make inactive. Okay, good. Let's just search by delete it again. Okay, so there's enough there where it's more likely to have an error. Let's go back to ChatGPT. We have a new piece of code. We'll click on copy code, go back into QuickBooks, paste this into the console, press enter. See if that works. Okay, close this little pop-up there. That's probably causing the issue. Enter again. So now it's not doing anything. So we go back to ChatGPT and say, now nothing happened So please revise. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so it's going to rewrite the script a little bit. What I'll do is I'll go back into QuickBooks here, click refresh, so we can have a fresh looking page here. Let me filter again by only showing the deleted ones. Okay, so there we go. And I'll select all of them, but maybe but one or something like that. Let's go back into ChatGPT. There's a refresh to the code. Let's copy that. Go back into QuickBooks. Test this again. Press paste. That's curious. Let me hit refresh, see if that worked. Let's type delete it. Okay, it did work. So that was so you have to hit refresh sometimes. Oh, actually, let's double check here. No, that's not true. That didn't work. Select all again. Let's paste this. Press enter. It's like I'm getting feedback that it's happening, but it's not actually happening. So let's see. Let's go back in here and say console shows feedback as if it's happening, but the accounts are not getting activated. I'm just going to go back and say make sure the button is being pressed for each one, and keep in mind that they could be filtered out once we press it, so the table integrity could change a bit. Now, this type of prompting you kind of learn over time, where you start, inserting some logic to see if ChatGPT figures out how to write this for you. So all this is going to do is just going to continue to write different versions of the script, which you could just keep testing. Really not going to break anything. It's just trying to activate accounts, right? So hopefully you're doing this in a play file or a test file, of course. But just don't be afraid of the code that ChatGPT puts in there. Really, your data is not going to be at risk, especially when you know what's happening. The only thing that can happen here is accounts get made inactive. So we're going to paste here, press enter, see if that does anything. Okay, well, that did nothing. Now it says no more accounts selected or buttons available. I'm going to copy that as the feedback. Just press enter. See if you'll understand that. Okay, no, but hang on. But no, nothing happened. That's feedback, but nothing really happened. Okay, so we keep giving this thing some. It might try again. Let me just hit refresh here. I'm hitting refresh so I can simulate what it's like to land in the chart of accounts and then press this button. Let's include inactive again, and let's type delete it. Okay, so all my accounts have been deleted. Let's see if this thing is writing new code. It is. Let's see. Now, one trick is you can ask it to write the code without comments. These are all comments, and it'll write much faster. Okay, but we'll do that for the next time. We'll just allow this one to finish here. Okay, perfect. Let's copy the script. Let's go back into QuickBooks, back into console. Let's select a couple of accounts here. Let's paste the code. Press enter. That could have worked, or maybe not. Let's see. Let's select everything. Paste, enter. No. So one more time. It seems to just do one. One more. I kind of stuck in there. That's interesting. Yeah, it seems to just go through one. So we'll see. Let's try this again. Hmm. I might be having a QuickBooks specific error. Let's see if I just delete these four here. Paste. So these two. Yeah. Let's go back and tell it. So I told it seems to do one, then stop, but then it thinks it worked. Let's see if that helps. It's just gonna keep trying. Actually, I forgot to tell it to give me the code without comments. I should remember next time. All right, let's see what happens here. Okay, wait for that code to finish up, and then we'll try that again. Let's go back in here and delete more accounts just so we can have more to work with here. We'll grab a couple accounts. Okay. It'll let me do some, it won't let me do others. Let's type here delete. So there's all my accounts here. We'll select everything. Go back and see this new script. Yes. See the new script. Space here, press enter. Okay, I hadn't selected anything, so select all, enter. Go back here and it says ignore the check. I'm gonna put it seems to ignore the checked options to see if it figures it out. So let's see. Okay, so it's going through its own logic, trying to figure out how it would go about doing this. So let's see. This is the fun part of programming, right? Actually, most of the stuff I don't know what it means. I just tell ChatGPT what I think, and then ChatGPT keeps trying new code. Okay, let's try that. So let's copy this. Let's come in here. Let's select all. Let's paste the new code. Press enter. That's interesting. It does the first one, and then the other ones get unchecked for some reason. Let's get the code here again. Copy. Yeah, it just seems to do one. For the last three, paste. Yeah, I think I know what's happening. Does the first one. So just does the first one. And then the check boxes disappear, which is why. Which is probably why. So could the script memorize the original ones I have checked to correspond with the make active button and then find it after first one is made active, something like that. fix the spelling here, and then send that. Actually, let me copy this. Let's fix it this time. Also, keep the code short and no comments for faster processing. So now it's going to give me much shorter code, no comments. So let's see if this works better. Okay, that's interesting. Let's hit copy. Let's come in here, select all, paste the code, press enter. No, let's do it again. Okay, there's nothing selected. So we got to select a couple of accounts here. Enter. Seems to be the same thing, just does one. Yeah, sometimes you could just give up on the idea. It just does one at a time. So let's try a different approach. Let's just make everything active. Ignore the checkboxes. It's possible that we can still continue and kind of play with the checkbox idea more. That's totally possible. But for now, we're just gonna do something easier. We'll just make everything everything that's on the screen will make active basically. Let's see. Let's copy code. Let's come in here, paste. Same issue. It only does one at a time. Let's delete it. Let's grab a couple more. Make inactive over here, as many as we can. Okay, let's see. Inactive. Okay, then we're gonna go to delete it. Okay, we'll paste the code in there. Let's enter. Okay, same thing. Okay, seems to just do one. Let's see. Copy that. Paste that. Let's copy this code in here. So I'll just paste the error that's in there. It should know what's going on. Yeah, so it corrects itself. So I'll copy this, paste the code. Oh, it's going through them. So that worked. Okay, so we're gonna say, great job, that worked. Okay, so that way it knows, it understands that it got to where we want it to be. Now, generally, you wouldn't be sitting there going to ChatGPT, doing all this crazy code stuff, and then opening the console and pasting the code in there. What we want to do now is we want to create a script out of this. So we're going to say, I mean, not a script, yes, a script, but it's called a bookmarklet. So we're going to say, now make it into a bookmarklet. That's just an expression, a term that you need to know. Okay, press enter, and it'll create a bookmarklet for me. And the bookmarklet is ultimately the script that we can put into RightTool's script function. So we'll wait for this to finish. We'll click on copy code, and then we're going to go into back into QuickBooks and RightTool. We can close the console. We don't have to deal with the console anymore. We just open RightTool, go into scripts, then click on add script. We're going to paste that JavaScript. Remember, this, if it starts with JavaScript like this, that's a bookmarklet, and that's the one that you can add into RightTool. And we're going to call this make all accounts active. So for now, we have a script that works. Let's just double check. Let's go back and delete that. Let's select all the accounts. We'll do make these things inactive. We're just gonna make a whole bunch of things inactive in one shot. Okay. So now if I type delete it, okay, that shows me all the deleted ones. Let's see if I press the script, if it does it for all these. Let's see. So let's go, click, and we'll go through it and we're just watching. I'm not pressing anything, just letting this thing do its thing. Let's see if it'll do it for all the accounts without exception, without any errors. So I'm hoping that's the case. It looks like it stopped. So it did some, maybe just the ones showing up on that page. Let's click it one more time, see if it keeps going. So it seems to kind of stop, and we could continuously troubleshoot that. That is possible. But what I'll do is I'll troubleshoot the checkbox, the thing with the checkboxes again. So I'm gonna come back in here and say that. Why do you think that the previous iteration with the check boxes was not working? So I'm going to ask it, see if it can analyze and figure this out in your behalf. So it's going to like go through the logic, okay, of why it might not be happening. And then I'll ask it to try one more time, and then let it know that every time the button is pressed, the checkboxes are lost. So let's see if that could work. Okay, let's wait until that finishes. Okay, the one thing I could add is that once the first one is made active, the screen refreshes. I'm gonna say the screen's contents. Table now has different number of rows, potentially. That's because we had a filter on it, potentially. So we need this script to capture the make active button for all the rows, maybe using, let's say, the account name as the identifier, and then when the next button is going to be pressed, the presence of check boxes is not important, but the account name is. Okay, so we're just kind of saying, you know what, read the account name from the checkboxes, start making things inactive. If things starts shuffling around, go back and use the account name as the reference point. So let's say if you understand this logic. Okay, so while this thinks, I'm gonna go back into QuickBooks and make stuff inactive again, so we can have something to test. Okay, good. Okay, so let's type here delete it. So only the deleted ones are showing, and I'm doing that just make it easier for to follow. So we'll go back to ChatGPT. There's some new code in here. We're gonna copy that, see if that does anything, and let's go back into our inspect. So when I'm testing in the console, I always use this process, and then once it's working, then I go back to doing the JavaScript, the bookmarklet. So I'm gonna paste, see what happens. So now it also sort of fails. Interesting. So I'm going to select this and paste the error. See if it figures out what that is. Okay, so I'll try to correct itself. Let's see if that will work. So we'll wait for that to finish. Okay, let's see. Let's copy that. Let's go in here. Select a couple of things. Let's paste. Okay. Okay, I think now that's working. So that should just go through the ones that I had checked. Okay. I think I like this script. Let's see if it keeps going. Should probably stop. Huh? Oh yeah, because I did everything but like 2 of them. So I think this could work. This script seems to be working. So as long as we'll let it finish. So as long as it goes through almost everything, but the 2 that I unchecked or the 3 that I unchecked, I think the script will work. And this might be maybe a slower process because of the delay. While that happens, I'll just go back here for a second and just kind of discuss delays. So right here, there's delays. So anytime you see numbers like 1000 or 500, these are delays. So you could tweak it with different versions. So you can say, set the delay to 500 instead of 1000, set it to 750, set it to 300. So you can try different sort of speeds of the script. And depending on your computer and your internet connection, all that stuff could affect. So it looks like they did everything, but oh, never mind. It went through everything. Let's see. I don't remember exactly if I had done that. So let me make inactive again. We'll try this one more time. Let's type delete it. I'm gonna pick this one, and this one. So just 3. So there's 36 now. So if I run the script, there should be with the filter on, there should be only 33 left. So let's see. There's 2. There's 3. It should stop. Oh, it kept going. Yeah, so the script doesn't seem to like stop. Interesting. See, I'm gonna put it keeps deleting everything. It doesn't seem to just grab the few I had selected at first. Also, skip comments on the code. I always got a reminder to skip comments on the code. Okay, let's see if it tries to figure out what this is. Okay, over in QuickBooks is probably still working. Okay, seems like maybe it stopped. Okay, well, that's good. Okay, let's see what this is. Let's hit copy again. Okay, I'm gonna select this account. Actually, let's type delete it. Oh, it did them all. So let's go back to these. Make this whole thing inactive again. Just make sure that we have enough inactive accounts to do this with. Let's type delete it. Try this again. Make inactive. Good. Let's type delete it. Include the inactive ones. Okay, there they are. So I'm gonna delete 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we got 38 now. By the time I'm done, if I run the script, it should only do those 4. Let's see. So there should only be 34 left. So let's press enter. So we did 1. Oh, okay. This time it just did. Try this again. Okay. Okay. Now it just did 1 and stopped. Okay. Let's see if it tries to figure out what's going on here. It's a modified version of the script. So let's select 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back into ChatGPT. Copy that. Paste. So we have 36 now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one seemed to work. Let's try again. Let's do these first 3. Run the script. 2, 3. That looks good. Let's grab a couple at random here. So this is 4. Run the script again. 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's one that had an error of sorts, but it looks like it went through it. So I think this is the one. So we're going to come back to ChatGPT and say, great. Now give it to me in bookmarklet. Okay, so now it's going to give me the bookmarklet version. Okay, wait until that finishes. Still kind of thinking. There it is. So we'll copy the code, go back into QuickBooks, close the console, go to scripts, add a script, paste that script, and put make selected accounts active. I'm going to put in parentheses chart of accounts so I know what the script is for, and click on save. Okay, so now we have it as a script. So let's see. Select 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5. And then click on the script. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. I didn't click on this 5 times. I just clicked it once. And I'm going to click on make all accounts active just to see if it does everything on the screen. Click on that, and it's going through the cycle, and it's doing all of them. So we did 2 scripts, and they both worked just fine. So what I'll do is I'm going to post both of these scripts into RightTool.app/scripts, which is essentially where I'm loading any functional scripts that I have. I'm loading them into this repository, so you can copy and paste these bookmarklets JavaScripts so you can add them on your own. So I hope this was helpful and a helpful way to understand what the purpose of scripts is and how you can leverage ChatGPT if you don't know how to do any sort of programming to start playing with this feature. Thank you. I hope that's helpful.